Hello, everybody. How's it going? And welcome back to Modern Day 4 with Battle Royale. We are still fighting to see who is the ultimate crazy son of a bitch person in the world. Hooray! That's the official title. The craziest, most son of a bitch person in the world. Yay! That is the official title. Everybody, welcome back. Though last time we saw the rise of Asia, we had the Korean DPR still has not fallen to the South Koreans, which is kind of shitty for them. We have Africa in a state of pure, absolute agony and disrepair. They still haven't really kind of found out who is going to be the strongest, toughest country yet. Ethiopia is looking pretty good for that title. So is Angola, South Africa, Nigeria, and Egypt. Algeria is starting to buff out a little bit, and Morocco is still struggling to get out of its shit there. Some people said I should just do the annex for it, but I'm just going to wait for Morocco just to get its ass kicked or kick some ass or both. Eventually, it's just going to happen. It's whatever. It doesn't really matter. Yeah, so we had Russia attempting to solidify its massive control, although it's still lagging a little bit behind China, India, and Iran for unit count. The Iranians actually are pretty damn strong with 97 divisions currently. The Chinese kicking around with 126. I think they're the strongest unless India has eclipsed them. No, India's at 97 as well. So very strong countries here. We of course have Turkey as well, dominating Europe with 65. Pretty damn strong divisions. Erdogan's looking pretty smug there. They're currently at war with the Spanish. Probably going to go after the Greeks at some point in the near future, probably after Spain falls, if they don't decide to go after, the Islamic State or Kurdistan or somebody like that. But we'll see where they go after this. Israel now is starting to expand out. So they actually, how many troops do they even have? They have 45 divisions. That's quite a few. They're starting to expand into Egypt, so this could spell trouble for the Egyptians because they don't have, they definitely don't have the unit count, plus they are still at war with Sudan in an attempt to try and take them over, and it's just not working all that well. I think this is... Yeah, Eritrea is also at war with them. So yeah, there's lots of conflict going on there, but I don't think the Egyptians are going to be able to hold out against the Israelis. The Israelis could still come up to be a world powerhouse. It's still totally possible for them. They have a lot of divisions right now, and if they continue to expand and build, then... well, they could have more in the future. Here's hoping that they decide to build some units. I think they currently are. Yeah, they're building some tanks, so that's pretty good. The Islamic State is somehow also still alive. They're not actually building any units, which is quite strange. They have 30 divisions, which is respectable, but they're now sandwiched between Assad, Syria, and the Kurds, who both are pretty strong. So 37 divisions for Syria, 60 for Kurdistan, though they're very poorly equipped divisions. They've been fighting a protracted war for such a long time. Yeah, it's a darn shame. But they have a lot of divisions. They're just getting their asses kicked. They're not the best divisions either. Their templates aren't the best. But anyway, we shall continue the carnage. I have a feeling Ukraine is not going to last very long. Venezuela just declared war on Peru. Oh shit, everybody is. Ecuador was just annexed. Now Peru looks like they are definitely next, which is a shame. Did the states also declare war on Peru? Did that also happen? Yes, they have. So the U.S. is also now at war with Peru. It looks like they're getting ready to naval invade. Oh, they've got some stealth bombers and stuff too. Not good. Not looking good for them there. That's a damn shame. Africa here, Sudan. I'm surprised this garbled mess still exists. I think that just kind of shows the underdevelopedness of the militaries of the region, that they are all still existing here. Russia is at war with Turkey. Oh no, the Turks now have to face an actual fucking enemy instead of just shit. Oh, that's not good. I was really rooting for Turkey. I was really hoping that they would come out on top, but that's really not good. That's really not good at all. I really hope that it's at very least a long war for Turkey. I hope they put up a good fight. The Spaniards are pretty much dead. They have, like, what, 2 divisions sitting in here? So they could just use these divisions, walk into Madrid and win, and just end this line. But they're not going to do that. That is a damn shame. Damn shame. I'm really hoping the Chinese decide to declare... Ooh, fucking hell, where the hell am I at? I'm really hoping the Chinese decide to get off their asses and declare war on Russia. That'd be interesting. Just so Turkey lives. I just want to see Turkey continue its carnage. I'm kind of sad that Kebab is going to be removed by the Russians. The Chinese, though, of course, are in quite the conflict with Myanmar right now, so we'll see how that goes. Singapore as well, pushing out into Myanmar, mostly because most of Myanmar's troops have fled to the defense on the line with China and now India as well. So Myanmar is not looking too hot. They're not going to last too long against that kind of enemy. We also have Japan invading the Philippines, which is probably bad for the Philippines because they do have a unit in there. Oh, the Congo was just annexed by Nigeria. But they have a few units and stuff, but the Japanese landing, that's not really good. Who's landed in... Oh, that's just their base, right? I was like, did the Americans really go to war with the Japanese? Oh, shit, the DPR was just annexed. The Koreans are now at war with the Philippines. That's bad. Poor Philippines. They were doing so well. It sounds like hell outside. It's raining, and it just sounds like hell. That's an interesting... Oh, there they go. There's their naval invasions. They want pieces of this island. They are not letting Japan fully take this over. Has Japan met their forces yet? Looks like it. So Japan has met Philippine forces. It looks like one of these Japanese forces is going to get surrounded. That's not good. Japan, you should have landed more than 2 divisions, buddy. Oh, Peru just got annexed. Oh, that's a shame. Brazil declared war on Argentina. Morocco declared war on Spain. Oh, wait, what? That's a different one. So Morocco actually decided to do something besides white piecing constantly with this other fucking retarded nation. Sorry to anybody that's from this nation, or I don't think it's actually a nation. I'm pretty sure it's a rebel group. Yeah, that's interesting. So is Morocco going to actually plan an invasion of Spain or not? Probably not. Oh, Maldives was just annexed by the Australians. Goodbye, Maldives. You are now an Australian colony, I assume. How's Turkey doing? Turkey is... they're not doing great. I mean, they're semi-holding, but they're definitely not making any major pushes of any kind. Don't South Africa declare war on Angola? So did everybody else. Oh, the Congo DR was just annexed. So Nigeria, Angola, looks like they finally really got in there and brutally murdered them. How many troops does Nigeria have? That's my question. Really, only 28. That's quite surprising. I think Morocco might even be the strongest. They have 67 divisions. They've been building up for a while. They haven't had... like, they've been able to build up. Finally, Ghana is going to go away. Nigeria is at war with Ghana. That's kind of like a gross growth going into Nigeria there, so that'll be really good for Nigeria to finally rid them of that. I'm surprised, though, that nobody has invaded Equatorial Guinea here. Like, that's quite surprising, but hey, whatever. I want to know if anybody has nukes yet, and can I even check? I don't think so. So Putin is still holding on to power, but Western Outlook has got 30%. I wonder if that could... I wonder if that'll ever switch. Wouldn't that be interesting? Russia turns into a westernized nation. How is... whoa, okay. So Argentina is on Brazil. Are they also on Chile? No, they're just on Brazil. Is Chile on Brazil too, then? Who is Chile at war with? Who are you at war with, Chile? The United States. Oh, well, that's not good for you. Oh, I see. You're bordered right here. The U.S. doesn't seem very interested in doing anything, though. They're very passive right now. Like, they got to South America's border, and they just kind of stopped. Oh, Chile's was just annexed by Australia. Who did they go to war with again there? Who was the new target of their desire? Comoros. Oh, okay. So they're... Where are they even at? I think they're... Yeah, they're one of the African ones, yeah. which so is Shelly's, to be fair. So they'll probably just send the same unit to attack. Yeah, because Shelly's right there. Kurdistan just cleared. Oh, ISIS is dead. So now we have Syria, which looks more Syria against the Kurds. This could be a long war because the Kurds, while they have like no equipment, they are really like there's a lot of them. So this could be a very long war. This might need another intervention too to see who wins. I mean, unit wise, definitely in favor of the Kurds, but it's just equipment wise, it's definitely in favor of Syria. Israel, oh my God, they're moving towards Benghazi now. They've taken a lot of land here. They've started to surround these Egyptian units. If they can take Asyut, I think that's it. Oh no, they have to take Aswan as well. I was gonna say, if they take Aswan and Asyut, that's it. Like they're gonna start taking they could start taking attrition, but they also have a lot of land down here. So did Sudan finally get annexed? Oh no, Sudan still exists. Where's their capital now? This place? Barely. They're barely hanging on now. I'm really surprised. They must have really high national unity. Oh, they have 14%. Never mind. Never mind. Also, Yemen still in their civil war, which is yeah. Invalidating is replaced constantly. Yeah, they're still in their war. Same with the UAE. The UAE is still at war with this terrorist organization, but because of Yemen, they can't actually get in there. So they're just kind of sitting around defending. Oh, anti-governmental forces of South Sudan. Oh, Sudan was finally annexed. Thank fuck. Ooh, Atria got fat from that. Oh my God. So now they're at war with these guys. I don't know how that'll go. I mean, these guys are probably pretty... Oh no, they're actually really well, both sides are quite well equipped. That'll be an interesting fight. That'll be a very interesting fight. Ethiopia is pissed off at Angola. They're not having it, so they're just invading there. Ghana is being absolutely just sandblasted. Gambia here is still at war with... I think this is Senegal, isn't it? Yeah, Senegal. Yeah, hello Senegal. How are you doing with your 11 divisions? Not able to take over this small country. Seriously, they've been trying forever. Oh, the Koreans just declared war. The Philippines are gone. Kramos was just annexed. Who did they declare war on? I don't care about the fucking bankers. I literally don't give a shit. Who did they just declare war on? They declared war on, Singapore on China. Ooh, that's not good. That's really bad. So Australia now is at war with Madagascar. Ooh, that'll be an interesting one. Madagascar actually has an army, so that'll be an interesting one. The Koreans and the Japanese are at war, so that'll also be interesting. The Koreans have quite a few units and a decent navy, but so do the Japanese. It looks like the Koreans are interested in just invading the Philippines and multiple islands that the Japanese control first before invading the main archipelago. Which is probably the smart way to do it, honestly. You know, take the Philippines completely. You know, try to wipe out their navy if possible. I mean, they have a big one. That's a lot of fucking ships there. Navy-wise, let's see. Who is the winner here? So, 34 ships. South Sudan just took a state. Anti-government forces of South Sudan were gone. Oh, the Koreans just declared war on Indonesia for some reason. And then we have... Oh, yeah. Yeah, the Japanese definitely out-navy them. At least in number. So we'll have to see how that works out. Also, now they're at war with Indonesia, which probably doesn't have the best navy, but definitely has... Oh, never mind. They don't... Never mind! They're fucked. They could get invaded anywhere at any time. That's not good. So the Chinese are now at war with Indonesia as well. So that's going to be... If the Chinese are smart enough to naval invade, which they already have some areas here, but I don't think they're going to get there fast enough. That's not good. That's really not good. That's really bad. The Koreans are easily taking Philippines. Like, they had no trouble there. There are a lot of little islands in here, though. Do they even have a unit here? No, they don't. There's really no point in them taking those islands. I think they're Chinese anyway. Oh, Jesus fucking Christ. Yeah, they're definitely Chinese. The Chinese are not fucking around when they're warring Indonesia, apparently. Good God. Who are they fighting now? Oh, the Indians are attacking the Russians. Was that Russia or was that India that declared that war? I would like to assume it was probably India. 96. What is Russia? Oh no, that's Iran. I'm sorry. I thought that was it's Iran versus India. So it's 97 on 96. So pretty even fight actually. I wonder how that's going to go. I was really hoping it was Russia because then Turkey might actually have survived. Spain is dead, just if you were wondering. I was really hoping that it was that the Russians were under attack by somebody, but no, sadly not. That is a damn shame because the Russians now taking over Europe, they're gonna have. Well, they don't have more factories than China. They have more than India now, and India has more than Iran. So it's gonna be. It looks like China versus Russia probably at the end of this, but you never know. You just don't know. I mean, Africa's not even decided yet. Has the Americans invaded Chile? Yes, they have. So the Americans have landed in Chile. Oh my god, look at that fucking navy. Jesus Christ, did you see that? Just 168 ships. You know, no big deal. No big D. No big D, bro. Whatever, bro. Fuck me. You know, they've landed in multiple other spots. So Chile's probably not going to have a good day here. Which is totally fine. Sucks for them, though. Sorry about Mexico. So Turkey is been pushed back to its native lands, and they're being pushed into northern Italy right now. What do they have defending their homeland? Ooh, that is not a lot of units. You really should have just abandoned this colony. You like completely abandoned it and ran back to Turkey to defend like Istanbul. They'll probably defend that side for a while. It's a very small isthmus, and they're well equipped, but they're gonna get pushed back on this side pretty quick. It looks like Syria has overwhelmed the Kurds, though. Like they're pushing the Kurds back pretty easily, which is terrible for the Kurds. They were doing really well. Well, I mean, they survived at the very least. That's the main thing. It's the main takeaway. The Egyptians are not looking all too healthy. They're getting attacked by Israel pretty heavily. They're getting pushed back on this final line here in the south. So if that southern area falls, the Israelis are going to focus their entire army corps into the north towards Benghazi. I think if Benghazi falls, that's probably going to be it for them. Well, no, maybe not. Maybe not. Maybe, but maybe not. What are the casualties even like? 54k on 44k. Yeah, so they are losing quite a good chunk of land there. That's really not good. That's very unfortunate. Very, very unfortunate. Nigeria declared war on Angola. So Angola now is getting smushed. It's not looking good for them. They've got one surrounded unit going on here who's gonna get killed. Yeah, it just died. And their capital is getting very close to being surrounded. This is really not good for them. I feel bad. Oh, they're just getting fucking sandblasted right now. Jesus Christ. They're trying their best, though. Oh, hey, Australia has naval invaded Madagascar, so they have successfully landed and are in a warring Madagascar. They could probably do with some more units being landed there, though, to be fair. What is Australia even at military-wise? They're only at 17 divisions, but they've been dominating everything. Also, China has infected Indonesia. Like, it literally looks like a plague spreading around. Oh, the Koreans have invaded Papua New Guinea as well. So they've invaded New Guinea. Oh, Argentina just got annexed by Brazil. Oh, Brazil. Looking a bit fat there. So who are the Brazil? Or Chile, yeah, okay. So that won't be long then for Chile to be destroyed. So how many units do they have? They have 54. What do the Americans have? Because eventually these two are going to fight it out. Ethiopia declared war on South Africa. That's interesting. South African war. Trump has 85. Ooh, okay, never mind. I was going to say, like, who's stronger? Oh, well, the better equipped and larger American army, probably. I'm sorry, Brazil. But, you're probably not going to make it out of this one alive. Who owns all of this? Dominican Republic actually owns Dominican Republic. Oh, Cuba's still Cuba. Okay. Alright. And who's left in the... Grenada is left. They're the only ones left in the Caribbean right now. And they are at war with Cuba. Fucking stupid. The Dominican Republic is not at war with anybody at the moment, though. That's interesting. I feel really bad. Ooh, Morocco declared war on them. I feel really bad for... Australia should be getting very nervous right now, because if the Chinese are moving into Indonesia, Australia could be next. And the Chinese are definitely not going to stray away from that. Looks like they're getting some pretty darn good footholds in Sumatra here. They are not doing as well on Java, though. Like, they're in Java, and they're warring in Java, but they're really not holding very well. They're holding Sumatra very easily, though. They have no trouble in Sumatra right now. Like, oh, fucking hell. They have so many commanders. Oh, my God. They're way too prepared for this. But they are warring every... Oh, they just took East Timor and stuff. They took that island of Timor. That's really not good. But yeah, if Sumatra gets completely dominated, there's a land bridge here they can attack Java. So even if they lose their little foothold they have on Java currently, it's realistically not going to matter for very long anyway. It looks like they've beat off there was a unit down here that was invading from the back end. I think they've killed them because they're headed back towards Jakarta, which is just, it's not good. Borneo doesn't even look very great either. Yeah, it's not good, not good. And of course the Koreans taking over the northern part of New Guinea. Damn. Ooh. Guinea-Bissau declared war on Micronesia. Guinea-Bissau declared war on Gambia. Cabo Verde. Nigeria declared war on Sierra Leone. Sao Tome. Grenada. Chile. Who died? Guinea. That's it? So Guinea died and all that kind of just... Wow, okay. Alright, sure. Sierra Leone now on Nigeria, which will be an interesting fight. I'd like to point out that Algeria... Oh, they're at war with... these guys here, but they can't actually move through because of the desert. Never mind, I was like, why are they moving through? But there's a desert there. It's okay, they'll be wiped out eventually. Oh, no, let's not get into that again. Oh, my. That's just insane. China just declared war on Korea. Goodbye, Korea. I'm so very fucking sorry, but you are not going to live for very long. You'll probably get an initial head. They don't have very many units on the mainland right now, but once they get these assholes out of here, you're screwed. I like how the Koreans landed in Jakarta. Like, they actually are here. It wasn't just they took that province somehow. No, they actually landed here. Very interesting. They're going to lose all of that land, though. Oh, shit, they've already lost, like, all of their New Guinea land. That's really not good. Looks like the Chinese are eyeing up the Philippines as well. I wonder if the Japanese will actually get anything out of this once the Chinese do kill them. If the Chinese kill them. Wouldn't that be funny? Oh, Eritrea is at war with Egypt now. Makes sense. I don't think they can... Oh, they can move. Yes, they can move across here. I was like, can they even attack anywhere? But yeah, they can. You know, that's whole southern flank they could go after. Interesting. Very interesting. So there's nothing in here, because, like, this is very defensible in here, because there's only one entrance. There's nothing in there that they could use as, like, a capital. Oh, Chile just got annexed, so are they at war with Venezuela now? Is that how that's gonna go? No? Oh, shit, fucking, come on. Goddamn fucking... The zoom in this mod is very annoying. Oh, it's Washington. Brazil and the United States. Alright. Let's fucking go. The zoom in this mod is actually quite weird. It doesn't behave properly. Oh, we've got... Fuck off, Morocco. We've got the United Kingdom on Russia. The United Kingdom actually probably has a good number of units. Oh, no, they don't. Why the fuck haven't you built an army, Theresa May, you goddamn moron? Oh, you are trying to. You're just slow with it, or what? Did you only just think, hey, maybe it's a good idea? You know, the Russians are on our fucking doorstep. Maybe we should build a military? Dumbass. God. Who are the Greeks even at war with right now? Are they even at war? They're not even at war. What the hell, Greece? You could invade, like, Cyprus. Like, or Malta. Malta's at war with somebody. Oh, no, never mind. No, they're not. It's like Malta's at war, right? No. Cyprus is, though. Cyprus is at war. They've been at war for a long time with the UK and the UAE. The UK is not looking too good, though. Have they been navally invaded yet? No. I wonder if the Russians will be able to successfully navally invade. I mean, there's really nothing on... Actually, yeah, they totally could. There's nothing in Britain. There's no units. And the only units they have are trying to get back. And, like, they've all died. Like, how many units do you now have? 2. You fucking idiot, Theresa May. Jesus Christ. Oh, the Koreans are actually pushing. Is that just by chance? Just because they weren't prepared? The Chinese, I mean? It's hard to say here. It's an interesting war. We've got South Africa and Ethiopia. I'd like to say that South Africa was winning that, but I don't think they are. I don't even know. Honestly, hard to fucking tell. It's to the point now where it's like hard to tell. Who's winning that war? I don't know. I don't remember where South Africa's borders were. Also, Australia is still struggling to invade Madagascar. And it looks like they're starting to kind of fall off. One of the units here is surrounded now. Even though they're technically losing. Like, if Australia just landed a few more fucking units, they'd take Madagascar easily. But apparently that's just not part of the plan, man. Also, these guys here are still fighting. I don't know if they're pushing or what's going on. Nobody seems to want to push on this one. This one's going to come down to some big country invading the shit out of them. You know, it's like Syria and Kurdistan. That's probably what's going to happen. So I think they've finally gotten to a line now that's just, there's no point in moving. So it's like, who's first? You know what I mean? All the Israelis are fighting in this area here now. So they're very slowly pushing towards Benghazi. And then we've got a Tria who's just curb stomping the Egyptians now from the south. So they're coming up to the north. So eventually the Egyptians are just going to get surrounded. Like, that's just what's going to happen. And they're going to get defeated. It's funny how a Tria is like this powerhouse. Oh no, Sierra Leone's down to just its capital. Oh dear. Oh dear, that's not going to go over very well. You've tried so hard, and you got so far, but in the end, it didn't even matter. They're defending their capital well, though. They're doing their best. Nigeria really needs to bring in a couple of tank divisions here. They'll win then. They'll definitely win then. Good lord. Well, the world is a very dangerous place. Is the Greeks at war with the Russians? No. The Russians are still at war with the Europe or the UK. They have landed. They are now outside of Plymouth. If they walked to Plymouth, they'd be able to not get attritioned. I think that truck's headed to Plymouth, I think. I hope. For its sake, it better be. Because they're going to just get attritioned and die eventually. Like honestly. It's pretty poor landing spot considering Britain's undefended, you fucking idiots. Stupid fucking Russians. It looks like the Iranians are actually taking the headway against India now. They've actually started to push into India a little bit. At least Indian-held land. They've retaken Kabul and Kandahar. They're actually pushing. So I wonder, yeah, the Iranians could very well take India, which would be a big boost to them, because that would add so many fucking factories. Although the Iranians aren't training any divisions, which is idiotic. Very idiotic. They should be training a shit ton of divisions. If I were them, I'd be training all the divisions. But hey, whatever. I'm not Iran, apparently. But we're getting down to kind of the big wars now, and they're very slow moving. So I think I'm going to pause it, and then I'll rejoin you if anything interesting happens, or once we're down to our final few. We are down to our last few, everybody. America has been extremely good at invading. So Russia and China were at war, and eventually the United States joined in, as well as eventually Greece, which is now dead. The U.S. killed them. Turkey fell, of course. And the Russians actually eventually did capitulate in. So did the Iranians, funnily enough. The Indians were actually able to kind of come back there. They were losing for quite some time. They had been pushed back. Their closest was the river here, so they were fighting along this river and kind of down in here. So eventually they were able to actually push back and head back towards Kandahar and Kabul, which they eventually took. And then they had a really successful campaign in the south here, which eventually the Iranians figured, oh shit, we're losing, diverted most of the troops there, so then most of the Indian troops just fought north. Eventually, China and India, being the two major superpowers and stuff, cleaned up the rest of the Middle East, along with, obviously, a little bit of the United States, and invaded Israel. Israel, at that point, had all of Africa, literally all of fucking Africa, except for Algeria and Morocco and stuff. Algeria eventually went to war with Morocco and destroyed them, and I'm not even going to try to pronounce it, Martu whatever, yeah, and, of course, annexed that annoying little province that we had there. So yeah, who we have left is the United States, Algeria, China, and India. They are the final countries left, besides Micronesia, which is somehow still alive over here. I think that's pretty much it, though. So I think, yeah, Comoros has fallen. Oh, no, the Dominican Republic also still exists, funnily enough. And Cyprus. Cyprus is still alive, and Malta. Those are the last surviving countries in the entire world, which is kind of hilarious that these few island nations have survived for so very long. The Australians originally were taken out by the Israelis. So what happened was Australia took Madagascar, invaded South Africa very successfully, had pretty much from here across down in the south. And then what happened was they went to war with South Sudan, so did Israel. They smushed. And then Israel declared war on Australia because Israel is considerably stronger. So eventually, the Israelis just took them over. So, of course, America took over Japan. They also took over Australia. They joined into that Australian war and took New Zealand from Australia, as well as some Pacific islands. Yeah, that's pretty much all that happened. Other than that, fairly insignificant. Oh, Iceland also still exists because they have no troops. So who the fuck are they going to declare war on? Nobody. That's the answer. The UK also did fall to Russia. They did navally invade them and completely annihilated them. The US initially landed in Portugal. It took a while for the US to overcome the Russian Navy. They did eventually because China was also at war with them, so the Russian Navy was pretty overextended. But it still took a while. There was a lot of losses there for the States. I think the States lost almost like 400,000 or 500,000 men getting into Europe and stuff. And they pushed on that line. The Greeks were pushing through the Balkans, and by that point the Chinese had reached the Urals. So the Russians were pretty much on their last leg at that point. I don't think India ever actually joined in that war because they were fighting Iran even still. Like after Russia fell, they were still fighting Iran, and China and the States went after different countries. China pretty much cleaned up the Kurdistan Syrian mess, and then that was pretty much it from there. I think they went to war. Well, they went to war with Korea, and they went to war with a few other island nations and stuff like that. I'm surprised, though, the U.S. has not declared war on the Dominican Republic. That I'm actually shocked at. Trump has 320 divisions. I do believe the Chinese still have more. No, actually. So Trump has managed to overtake the Chinese divisions. And I do believe India is weakest of the three. Oh my god, what the hell, India? How do you only have 37 divisions left? Where the fuck did your army go? You had over 100 before. What the fuck happened? Oh, India. Oh no. Oh dear. Well, that's not going to bode well then. They don't have much of a defense for their homeland. I would be pulling everything back to Delhi at this point. Air superiority is going to be difficult. They have a lot of fucking... they have a lot of anti-air missiles going on. Oh my good god. Yeah, they're obviously keeping air superiority over their homeland. That's pretty obvious. That is way too many anti-air missiles to like... Oh, and Algeria just declared war on the Indians as well, so they're going to try and go after some of their African claims, I would imagine. They don't have a navy, so I would assume China and the US are going to take out Algeria next just to wipe them out and then go to war with each other. And I want to see if the States can actually keep its foothold in Europe and the parts of Africa and Asia that it actually has. So I'm going to repause it again. India is obviously going to lose this fight against the US and China ganging up on them together, and now Algeria. But I want to see if the United States can keep a hold. If the U.S. cannot hold Europe here or its colonies in the Middle East and Africa, the U.S. I don't think will ever be able to naval invade because the Chinese Navy pretty close to matches the U.S. Navy. So we'll see. And we have the war of the century, everybody. It's the United States versus China. They didn't go after Algeria first, and I don't honestly know why. I figured they would both declare war on, like, Micronesia, Iceland, Malta, Cyprus, Algeria, you know, the remainder island nations that are out there. Apparently, the U.S. is planning on invading this random small Chinese island in the middle of the Pacific, but we definitely have a showdown. The United States was ready, especially in Europe. They've actually, oh, Jesus, they made some gains in Europe. They're very slight, mostly in Scandinavia, but they have made some minor gains in Europe. The main bulk of the fighting is in the Middle East, mostly former Iran and India. They're set up, both sides have set up quite a front line. It's kind of seesawing back and forth. The U.S. will take a chunk, then China will take a chunk somewhere else. So it's kind of hard to say whether the States will actually be able to victor here, or link up with their African colony here, or their European colony for that matter. I don't really know how this is going to go. I think if the States does lose its Eurasian colonies or African colonies, or just all of it in general, that they won't be able to re-land and that China will be, you know, victor of all, at least in Eurasia and Africa. Because I really don't think the States can wipe out the Chinese Navy. I think they're just going to, it's more or less mutually assured destruction there. So it's going to be interesting to see who wins. And this is going to be a long one. So it's 2031 right now. Let's see how long it actually lasts through. If there's any weird significant developments, like a naval invasion somewhere, which again, I don't expect, even if the States owns Japan, I really don't expect a major naval invasion on the Asian coast, but you never know. The States Trump is a crafty bastard. Sometimes in this game he is, not so much in real life, but we'll see whether the States can consolidate their Middle Eastern and Indian and European gains, or they're just going to lose it all and the Chinese are going to reign supreme. Let's find out. So the Americans got pushed out of their Middle East. It took a while, like almost 3 years. But they're the only fighting pocket left is in Yemen, and there's only 2 or 3 units left fighting there. Africa's gone. They've held on to Europe, but they're starting to lose it now. They had pushed back pretty close to the line here, the Kaliningrad, and down towards Kiev, but they've lost it now that they are now facing the full brunt of the Chinese, because they really can't seem to stand up to it very well. So they're getting pushed out of Europe pretty hastily here, but I'm going to give them another little bit and see if they can make a pushback, but I don't have that high hopes. I think I'm going to call it here. The Chinese are now barreling through U.S.-controlled Europe, so I don't think the States are going to be able to bounce back from this one. The Americans have very few military, and as you can see, the Chinese are swarming the border. So even if the States is able to actually get another fleet to reinforce, I don't think it's going to be enough to stop the Chinese advance. So I'm going to call this one for China in at least the Eurasian African sphere. Obviously, the U.S. gets America, but I don't think anybody... No, Canada did get it once. They did get it once. But China, for its second victory in Battle Royale, here you go, you fucking assholes. You ruined the U.S.'s dreams of its first global victory. And you did it with pride, and you did it with style. So, second victory for China, which ties it with Germany, I think, now. So I think Germany, if we count Prussia in the Frederick's Nightmare as a victory, I think that ties it with Germany and Russia. I think Russia has 2 as well. I'm going to have to go back and then create a scoreboard and find out who the hell is ahead. I'll let you guys know in the next video who, even if it's not a Battle Royale video, who is currently ahead in Battle Royale for these for this stuff. So thank you much for watching, and I'll see you all next time. Peace.